Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon. Fargo police say the man involved in this morning's shooting is now behind bars. Officers say it happened around 1 this morning in the 1100 block of 2nd Avenue South. It's located just a block away from the Cass County Courthouse buildings. Now, as officers arrived on scene, the caller was outside the suspect's address waiting for officers to assist. The caller told officers that the shooter was upstairs apartment and the victim was laying on the sidewalk by the house with a gunshot wound. Officers eventually made contact with 24-year-old Logan Arends as he came out of the house and surrendered. Police say Arends and the victim knew one another. Arends is facing felony aggravated assault and burglary charges. Then a man accused of killing 29-year-old Grand Forks police officer Cody Holte is heading to trial. 41-year-old Selma Pendleton is charged with a total of 8 charges, including 2 counts of murder for the deaths. Documents say deputies with the Grand Forks Sheriff's Office were serving an eviction notice at 2627 South 17th Street on May 27th. When deputies breached the door, Pendleton began firing multiple rounds and injuring CPL Ron Nord, Sergeant Kelly McLean, and killing Lola Moore. Officer Cody Holte soon joined the shootout but was wounded 3 times and pronounced dead at Altru Hospital. Pendleton's trial is set to start on June 29th, 2021 and last until July 16th. Well, we saw a little bit of flurries this morning. Didn't last too long, but will we see any more? Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, good afternoon. We're watching things kind of slowly quiet down. We're still feeling the effects of yesterday's event, and there's still some clouds hanging around and the wind too, and we're looking at that wind in the southern end of the valley. This is along the state line at the Dakota Magic Casino in the Hankinson area. You can see those flags really going here as we're looking down to the south and west. You can also see that there's some sunshine happening in that area. We had earlier this morning conditions that haven't looked so good. Here's a view of Long Highway 2 from earlier this morning, not too long after daybreak, where we had that plow clearing the roads. And we may still have some areas where it is slick out there. So something to keep in mind if you're going to be hitting the roads today, up in the Northern Valley specifically. Here's a look at our temperatures right now. We are into the 20s and teens. It's 26 degrees in Fargo, 22 in Grand Forks, and 28 in Fergus Falls. Again, more clouds than sunshine, but we're working on clearing that. And look at those winds. We're seeing those gusts getting up to 28 miles per hour in Sisseton. So it is stronger down in the south. And we'll watch that wind gradually decrease, but a lot of places seeing wind out of the northwest. And that's where we're looking at some of our coldest temperatures. So here's a look at that radar and satellite map. There may still be a couple of flurries out there, especially in the northeast, but most of us just experiencing some clouds. You can see the clearing to the west and to the south, and more of those gray areas indicating cloud cover elsewhere. So that's going to be with us for a little while here today, but gradually we do have some clearing going on heading into the afternoon. And temperatures, well, they don't really go up much, but they will rise into the low 30s in the south and some 20s up north, and that's it. So a cold Friday. Let you know if we've got a warm up coming for the weekend and a preview of the holiday forecast too coming up for next week.
Well, make sure to continue staying tuned so we can see what this weather is going to be like, especially with those mini flurries we saw this morning. Like you said, they could make a comeback. Thanks again, Lisa. Where North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is holding his weekly press briefing to provide an update on the COVID-19 pandemic in North Dakota. House Majority Leader Chet Pullert and Senate Majority Leader Rich Wardner will be among the guest speakers today. Let's listen in.
That there are tremendous benefits of having a strong economy because that helps everyone's health, not just their financial health. And so again, protect the vulnerable, ensure hospital capacity, keep kids in school in person, keep our economy open. That's what we've been about since the beginning, and that's what we're still fighting for today, every day. And COVID-19, again, continues to take a devastating toll, not just on our communities in North Dakota, but across our nation. But here in North Dakota, again, today we had another 1,408 positive cases, another 23 deaths reported today, pushing our fatalities to over 800, which is another tragic milestone. Hospitalizations remain high, with 280 289 hospitalizations and another 100, and those are people that were hospitalized due to COVID. There's another 106 that are in the hospital that after they got there, turned out they had COVID. So altogether 395. But we are in record territory for the wrong reasons. We've reported over 25,000 new positive cases so far this month in November.
Now, for more coverage, you can watch online at valleynewslive.com, or you can head over to our VNL News app. Well, it took nearly 12 hours, but police finally got their man after they say he assaulted a Minnesota state trooper. It all started around 7 yesterday morning when the trooper pulled over a suspected impaired driver in St. Joseph. They say after a breath test, the guy punched the trooper in the face and took off in a car. Then the suspect ran away on foot after police flattened all 4 of his tires with stop sticks. St. John's University went into lockdown because of concerns the man was on campus and possibly armed. Police finally caught up with 29-year-old Devon Wilson around 6:30 on campus. He's in the Stearns County Jail in St. Cloud. The trooper who was assaulted suffered multiple fractures to his jaw and is scheduled for surgery today. Now, a North Dakota man is dead after rolling his SUV near Dickinson. The Highway Patrol says the victim's car left the road last night, rolled through a fence, and ended up in a field. He was a 26-year-old person from Taylor, North Dakota. Dozens of nurses from the U.S. Air Force are being deployed to North Dakota to help fight the surge of COVID-19 cases in area hospitals and nursing homes. The backup is coming from bases in Ohio, Virginia, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, and Maryland. They're leaving tomorrow and are expected to start work next week. The critical care nurses will be split into teams to support staff at Essentia and Sanford and Fargo, Alachua and Grand Forks, plus hospitals in Bismarck and Minot. The help is coming from FEMA after a request by Governor Doug Burgum. Now, the World Health Organization is now recommending against the use of the antiviral drug Remdesivir in hospitalized COVID-19 patients. The WHO says there is no evidence that the drug, manufactured by Gilead Services, improves survival or shortens recovery time. The recommendation stands in stark contrast to that of the U.S. Drug and Food Administration. The Remdesivir is the first and only drug approved in this country to treat the coronavirus. In a statement, Gilead, which manufactured Remdesivir, said, quote, "We are disappointed that WHO guidelines appear to ignore this evidence at a time when cases are dramatically increasing around the world," end quote. Well, a presidential recount in Milwaukee County, Wisconsin has begun this morning inside the Wisconsin Center. On Thursday, election officials gave the media a look at the setup inside the 188,000 square foot facility. The room is set up with dozens of tables to allow for social distancing. More than 460,000 ballots from across Milwaukee County will be recounted as part of the process requested and paid for by President Trump's campaign. The ballots were taken from a secure location at the county clerk's office and brought to the Wisconsin Center with a sheriff's office escort. The Trump campaign has also asked for a recount in Dane County, Wisconsin. Well, coming up at noon, we look at ways you can stay sane over the Thanksgiving holiday. And weather's still pretty cool, but doesn't feel half bad. We check in with meteorologist Lisa Green for a full report.